Hi, I'm Tom Smothers.
Hi, and I'm Dick Smothers, and welcome to the original Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour.
Our shows were taped before a live audience at Television City in Hollywood during the late 60s. The episode you're about to see first aired on November 17, 1968.
Our guests on this Comedy Hour include George Harrison, Jennifer Warren, Dion, and Donovan. Donovan was one of the world's top recording artists at this time, and his song Mellow Yellow inspired some Americans, believe it or not, to try smoking bananas.
Beatle George Harrison was also on the show. He makes a surprise appearance and surprised everybody.
That's right. And Dion also appears on this Comedy Hour, and he began his career actually as a teenage idol, recording with the doo-wop group, the Belmonts. But Dion was changing his image in the late 60s, and you'll see that on this show. He performs his top 10 ballad and a very moving song, Abraham, Martin, and John.
This was my very favorite Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. And when it, in the process of doing it, I didn't realize until I saw it that Sunday how wonderful it was. There was no orchestra, the AFM orchestra. Everybody was on strike in Hollywood.
The Musicians Union strike.
Musician Union strike. So we had the Jimmy Joyce Singers, our choir, did all the backup, did the theme song. Jennifer Warren sings on Santa Monica Pier a cappella. It was wonderful. And Dion and the choir. Yeah. This ranks as my favorite, and I think a lot of other people's favorite.
Yeah, I think I remember too. We did the show, and we thought it felt good, but when we saw that on tape, it just knocked us out. Well, let's see and hear the very musical Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour of November 17th, 1968.
It's just as good, really. Comedy Hour 0209, show number 8. Take 1. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Our guests for tonight are the committee, Dion, Jennifer Warren,
right,
really a great new singer, and a special guest star, Donovan. Tommy also has a special guest, too, and he'd like to introduce him right now, wouldn't
That's right, I have a Beatle.
Yeah, but it's not the kind of Beatle you would expect it to be.
It's the kind of Beatle that you, I think you hoped it would be. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Harrison. George, I don't know, all of you, I think, saw the, several weeks ago we had on, your people did,
Oh, Hey Jude.
Hey Jude and Revolution.
We thought, Tommy and I both thought that Hey Jude was the best presentation that we've ever seen of the Beatles, and we're glad it was
Yes,
on our
so
show.
are we. Have you met my brother Dick? Let me introduce, this is Tommy, and this is my brother Dick.
How do you do?
I do. Enjoyed your work.
You look different in person.
Yeah, so do you. Yeah.
It's all the makeup, too much makeup.
Do you have something important?
Something very important to say on American television.
You know, a lot of times we don't have opportunity of saying anything important because it's American television. Every time you say something and try to say something important, they
Clap, 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 clap. Cue the lines. Well, whether you can say it or not, keep trying to say it.
That's what's important.
You get that? Yeah. That is very important. Cue. Just a minute, just a minute.
Wait a second.
Okay, cue the clap now.
It's the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour with guest stars, the committee, Dion, Jennifer Warren, special guest star Donovan. Jimmy Joyce Singers, the Ron Poindexter Dancers. Tonight, because of the strike, there will be no Nelson Riddle and no orchestra. From Television City in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, meet the Smothers Brothers.
Boil that cabbage down, boys. Turn that whole cake round. The only song we sing. Whoa. What was that?
So a little soul.
A little soul. What do you mean soul?
I do a little soul every now and then.
You mean jazz?
Fillet of soul.
It's gonna be one of those nights, huh?
Looks like it.
Okay. Boil that cabbage down, boy, turn that old cake round. Only song I ever did sing is boil that cabbage down. Boil that cabbage down, boy, turn that old cake round. The only song I ever did sing is boil that cabbage down. Take it, Tom.
No.
I don't think you heard me. I said, take it, Tom.
I heard you.
I said, take it, then why don't you take it?
Because I don't want to take it.
When I say take it, you're supposed to take it.
You're a fascist.
That may be true, but it doesn't change the fact that when I say take it, you take it. You're to take it, so when I say take it, you take it. Boom, boom, boom. You understand? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Boil that cabbage down. Take it, Tom. Boom, boom, boom.
Hundreds of years ago, the railroads started in America. Rugged railroad men of yesterday went out in the wilderness to build the railroads, a vast spiderweb of steel rails spanning the country. These men of yesteryear had vision in their hearts and their eyes and great 9-pound hammers clasped in their hands, building the railroads, inching slowly across the vast bosom of America. Thought I'd throw a little sex in the show. But this wasn't just a fun job. These railroad men were involved in a heavy job as they had to face dangers, as the railroads were the main way of transportation. These railroad men had to face danger. They had to build railroads across raging rivers, across the blazing deserts, across from the purple mountain majesties to ocean white with snow. And they had to face danger like they had to build railroads over crevices. There was these crevices these railroad men had to build, and they had to span these crevices with these stencils, these big stencils that they would put over.
Trestles. Trestles.
I always count on you. They build these big pretzels across these rivers, and in the bottom of these crevices, where they would build the trestles across the crevices, in the crevices there was pumas. Vicious pumas were lurking in these crevices. And these railroad men did just be building a railroad right along, and all of a sudden they get to a crevice, and they say,
Hey, Tom.
"Whoa! Look at the pumas in the crevices! I don't want to build a railroad across a crevice with a puma in it."
Now, there are no pumas in the crevices.
There's pumas in the crevices.
No, there were no
with
pumas.
Foam coming out of their mouths.
They did not have foam.
And they have bad breath. Pumas.
They did not have bad breath because they were not in the crevices.
There was
not one puma in one crevice.
There was 3 pumas in the crevice.
3 pumas.
Mama puma, Papa puma,
And baby puma.
They say,
Who's been sleeping in my crevice?
All right.
you never know who you'll find sleeping in a
How
crevice.
will you say, Tommy?
there were no pumas in the crevices, and do you know why?
There's pumas.
You know why? Because we do not have pumas in this country.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We accept everybody in this country, Dick. Pumas are...
On paper, yes, but it doesn't apply to animals.
Well,
now, if you want to keep your story historically correct, I suggest you get rid of the pumas right now. Get rid of them.
I'm not going down that crap. Well, there was these vicious beasts in these crevices, and these railmen would come up to these crevices, and back in the old days, they'd come to the crevice, they'd say, "Wow, look at the vicious beasts in the crevices." Sure look like pumas, but they weren't. But they finished the railroads, these men over crevices and rivers, and the reason this song exists is the fact that it's entitled "Boil That Cabbage Down." Hotcakes and cabbage juice was a great, in Promontory Point, Utah, where the railroads were completed, they had a big feast. Hotcakes were boiled in cabbage juice. They would take hotcakes and they'd take these hotcakes and they'd boil it in cabbage juice, say for around, they would do the hotcakes and they'd put it in cabbage juice and boil it around for about 350 for about an hour, about 2 hours. Then they would take because they'd be these hotcakes boiled in the cabbage juice, they get all kind of weird. So what they do, they take them out to get them out of the thing. They would take them and put them, strain them. Strain it through a T-shirt.
They strain the cabbage and the hotcakes through a T-shirt.
Yeah. Then they eat the T-shirt. I made that up. Yeah.
Working on the railroad, working all day long. Take it.
Working.
Boy, I can't boy, turn that oaking round. The only song I ever sing is boil the cabbage down, boy. Turn that oaking round. The only song I ever did sing is boil that cabbage down. Boil And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce a young lady who has appeared several times on our show so far.
And each time that she's appeared on a show, we've just come out and just introduced her in this clever way, saying that she's Jennifer Warren.
Right, but we should introduce her a little bit different this time, don't you think?
Right.
Because this is, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce one of the leads of the Los Angeles production of the Broadway musical, Hair.
Just Jennifer Warren.
I was bugged when you called me, coming on with this great idea. The idea simply appalled me to go to Santa Monica Pier. But when I tried to say no, dear, you didn't tell me that I was wrong. You just said you were going there and that you'd like to take me along. And you said, imagine the music of the merry-go-round drifting over the salty air, the taste of wine. In the sky the gulls are crying and the ocean spray is flying there. I saw you smile, dear, your eyes were so bright and clear. So I reluctantly said I'd take you down to Santa Monica Pier. Well, I took you down to the pier, dear. It was such a fine idea. Fish and chips and a beer, dear, down on Santa Monica Pier. You took my photograph there, dear. The sun shone in my golden hair. And I knew you could care for me down there on Santa Monica Pier when you classic of the merry-go-round, drifting over the salty air, the taste of wine. In the sky the gulls are crying, and the ocean spray is flying there. I saw you smile, dear, your eyes were so bright and clear. Oh, what a day to be taking pictures down on Santa Monica Pier. On Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah!
The committee is composed of Peter, Morgan, Sturdy, Christopher, Jessica, Barbara, and our own Carl Gottlieb. Ladies and gentlemen, the committee.
If you'll please wait right here, Mr. Harris. I'll call you as soon as Mr. Simpson can see you.
Thank you.
Follow me, please. You can wait right here, Mr. DeMarco. I'll call you just as soon as we can see you.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Mr. Plimpton, but you're a very sick man. In fact, the slightest emotional shock may kill you.
Oh, excuse me, Fred, I didn't know you were using the bathroom.
Okay.
Fred, what are you writing on the walls?
Yeah, take a look.
Let me try it.
Come on. Where'd you get that?
Tijuana. Hey, we shouldn't be doing this. Two grown men writing in the bathroom walls.
Why not? It's my house.
Right.
This old sheepskin rug here belongs to our next guest. It is something that's toured with him from his homeland in Scotland, all over the world, and finally here to our show tonight.
And even though he travels light, he brings a lot of love with him wherever he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Donovan.
When the sun goes to bed, that's the time you raise up your head. That's your lot in life, Lalania. Can't blame ya, Lalania. Artie-tot, la-di-da. Can your part get much sadder? That's your lot in life, Lalania. Well, I can't blame ya, girl, Lalania. Run your hand through your hair, paint your face with despair. That's your lot in life, Lalania. Well, I can't blame ya, girl, Lalania. Ooba-dooba-dooba-da, doo-da-ba-da-da, ooba-da-ba-da-ba-da, doo-da-da-da-da-da, ya-ba-da-ba-da-da-da-ba-da-da-da-da, ya-ba-da-da-da-da. Oh, when the sun goes to bed, that's the time you raise your head. That's your lot in life, Lalania. Well, I can't blame ya, girl, Lalania. Artie-tot, oh, so la-di-da. Can your part get much sadder? That's your lot in life, Lalania. But I can't blame you, Lalania. Oh, Lalania. Weeda-ba-dweeda.
Hold it. Get back.
Now this time, we can all let it hang out in another way. I want you all to help me sing a song, and there's 3 parts in it, see? There's a part for the men, there's a part for the ladies, and there's a part for me as well. Now this is the men's part. Now men, we've got to imagine that we're French horns for a start. And we've got to go like this. And now, ladies, you've got to go like this. And I want you to sing nice and sweetly for the people. Go like this. Happiness runs, happiness runs. Here you go. Happiness runs, try it. Happiness runs, lovely. Happiness runs, happiness runs. Happiness runs, keep it up. Come on, man. Happiness runs in the circular motion, floated like a little boat upon the sea. Everybody is a part of everything anyway. You can have everything if you let yourself be. Happiness runs, yes it does. Happiness runs, happiness runs. Happiness runs, yes it does. Happiness runs, happiness runs. Well, happiness run in the circular motion, floated like a little boat upon the sea. And everybody is a part of everything anyway. We can have everything if we let yourself sing. Happiness runs, happiness runs. Happiness runs, yeah I know. Happiness runs, happiness runs. Woo. Happiness runs, happiness runs. Happy restaurants, happy restaurants. Happy restrooms, happy restrooms. Happy restrooms, happy restaurants. Happiness runs, louder. Happiness runs, yeah. Happiness runs, oh yes. Happiness runs, here we go. Happiness runs, happiness runs.
Let's get right to it. Let's sing something that is powerful, earth-shaking, and has meaning to everybody that hears this song. It's your song, right?
Something that someone could relate, everybody could relate to.
Yes, okay.
Got something?
Wait, we got just the one for you. It means something to everybody, so let's sing it.
Do you have a shirt that you really love? One that you feel so groovy in? You don't even mind if it starts to fade. That only makes it nicer still. I love my shirt, I love my shirt. My shirt is so comfortably lovely. I love my shirt, I love my shirt. My shirt is so comfortably lovely.
Do you have some jeans that you really love? Or ones that you feel so groovy in? You don't even mind if they start to fade. That only makes them nicer still.
Oh, I love my jeans, I love my jeans. My jeans are so comfortably lovely. I love my jeans, I love my jeans. My jeans are so comfortably lovely. Oh, I take the cleaners. I can't wait to get them home again. Oh, yes, I take them to the cleaners. I'd rather wash them in a stream.
Dub-a-dub-dub-dub.
I'd rather wash them in a stream. Know what I mean?
Do you have some shoes that you really love? Ones that you feel so groovy in? You don't even mind if they start to get some holes in. That only makes them nicer still.
Oh, I love my shoes, I love my shoes. My shoes are so comfortably lovely. I love my jeans, I love my jeans. My jeans are so comfortably lovely. I love my shirt, I love my shirt. In fact, I love my wardrobe.
I love my shirt. My shirt.
We'll be right back with Donovan Dion, Jennifer Warren, and the committee on the second half of the Smothers Comedy Brothers Hour.
My shirt is so comfortably lovely. I love my shirt. I love my shirt.
Some say that love is a gentle thing, but it only has caused me pain. For the only girl I ever did love, gone on that midnight train, I never will marry. I'll take me no one. I expect to live single all of my life. The train pulled out and the whistle blew with a low and a lonesome moan. She's gone like the midnight dew, left me all alone. When I was very young, I remember there was a little girl that lived down the street from me. We always used to say that when we grew up, we'd be married. It was sort of a childish thing and a puppy love. Yet as years went by, this puppy love grew into something very dear and very precious to me. You know, they tell us that love is a gentle thing. But love only brought me happiness and heartache. There's a girl I learned to love so very much, left me for another man. Yet I could never stop loving her. And sometimes I see her shining eyes and smiling face, and I know that I never will marry. I will never marry unless I can marry her. I'll mess around a little bit, though. I expect to live single all of my Thank you. Oh, yes.
The show. We first heard this next song on the radio, and we thought so much of it and thought it was such a great song, we thought we'd like to have it on the show so that more people could hear it and see it performed.
That's right. The song is entitled Abraham, Martin, and John. And we're very proud to present the man who has this hit record. Ladies and gentlemen, Dion.
Anybody here seen my old friend Abraham? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seemed that they die young. You know, and I just look around and it's gone. Anybody here seen my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seemed that they die young. I just look around and it's gone. you see my old friend Martin? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems that they die young. Yeah, I just look round and it's gone. Didn't he true love the things they stood for? Didn't they try to find some good for you and me? And we'll be free someday soon. He's gonna be one day. Anybody here? Did you see my old friend Bobby? Can you tell me where he's gone? You know, I thought I saw him walking up over the hill with Abraham and Martin and John.
Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days.
Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two. Remember how we laughed away the hours and dreamed of all the things that we would do.
Remember the desert.
Oh, yes, Abdul. The wonderful desert, the sand, and the flies. I love the flies. I love the sand and the
Yes,
flies. I eat the
Latif.
flies.
And the heat. And the thirst. The burning thirst.
Oh, wonderful. And now all there are cities and parks and gardens and rivers and oases everywhere.
Yes, you let one Israeli in and there goes the whole desert.
Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day.
We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose. Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days.
Is that you, Garfield?
It's
Oh,
Garfield.
yes. Remember when you used to run the 109.9, jump over 6 feet in the high jump, and pole vault higher than anyone had ever done before?
I have news for you. I think I'm going to make the Olympic team next season.
But that's impossible. Why you?
Well, I hear they're looking for guys who can't raise their arm.
La 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 la. Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days.
Then the busy years went rushing by us. We lost our starry notions on the way. If by chance I'd see you in the tavern, we'd smile at one another, how we'd say,
Running bear. Ugh, running bear. Remember Custer?
My friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day.
We'd live the life we'd choose, we'd fight and never lose. Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days.
Through the door there came familiar laughter. I saw your face, I heard you call my name.
Oh, my friends, we're older, but no wiser. For in our hearts the dreams are
are still the same.
That's out. Are you having the same difficulty censoring over at NBC?
Just as much trouble as you are having at CBS. This stuff just driving me crazy.
Disgusting, disgusting.
Disgusting.
Remember the good old shows.
Remember the hit parade, Queen for a Day.
Those are classic
Howdy
shows.
Doody.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Good
Hey,
show.
you know what they have me doing? I've got to censor the rotten Smothers brothers.
I've got that dumb laugh in. I can't stand it.
Whatever happened to Kukla, Fred, and all?
La 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 la. Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We'd like to thank our guests for this week, Dion, Jennifer Warren, members of the committee, and our special guest, Donovan.
Our guest on next week's show will be Tony Randall and, once again, Jennifer Warren.
Before we go, I'd like to say something, okay? Do I have time?
I think we have
Okay.
time.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, we had a spot on our show in which a young man named David Steinberg read a sermonette entitled The Lack of Communication in Our Changing World. We expected and we got a lot of letters, both favorable and unfavorable. We try to do new things on our show, things that haven't been done before, and we feel that the effort alone is well worthwhile, even if we fail or we succeed. Now, in the case of the David Steinberg sermonette, we got the approval of many theologians and priests and things before we put it on the air. And we're sorry that some of you out there didn't see the piece as we did, because it was not our intention to offend anyone. To those of you who were offended, we apologize, but we don't regret having done it. We tried to do something that we feel that God has a sense of humor. We were made in His image. And if we have a sense of humor and we're made in His image, God must have a sense of humor also. We feel that God will forgive us, even if some of you don't. I'm sure that most of you will. Good night. Thank you.
This is Roger Carroll speaking.
We hope you liked the show, because that show happened to be one of our favorites.
That was shown November 17, 1968. We got more telegrams. Lucille Ball made a point of writing this telegram, saying it was the most wonderful hour she'd ever seen on television. It was so soft and nice. And
back then, in that year, the Beatles were the biggest thing in the entire universe. And to have George Harrison just stop on by to wish us luck and to say, go on, keep doing it, it was a real coup.
I wrote the intro. I had to write the intro for George. And I remember the level of security It was like a presidential visit. He had to come, unannounced in a car, and they had to get permission to get the car in the building, which I think only Red Skelton was allowed to drive his Rolls Royce onto the stage to park.
Because there was no orchestra, we had the choir was doing all the vocals of the Smothers Brothers theme. Harrison walking on, and I had dinner with he and his wife that night, and he.
And the performances were just great.
I personally, of all the material I've ever had anything to do with, I think that Drummer's the most original. Like most of the other stuff that we had done has some references, earlier references to old jokes or old plays or scenes somewhere, but Drummer struck me, and still strikes me as an original piece that could go into like the vaudeville archives.
We did it in the round. We put up a lot of scaffolding all the way around, and the music was hummed. And we got people, and they hummed, and they whistled, and we still did a performance show, and I thought it was one of the best we've ever done, and it was certainly unique.
What I like looking back is some shows had a real strong point of view, some were political, some were spiritual, like this one, and wonderful. There was all different levels and different textures.
As Mason Williams said, it was a show of ideas as much as just written concepts or comedy. A show of concepts, and he always said, Mason said, I'd like to be known by the ideas I keep, not by the people I know. I don't know what that means.
Well, I think you do.